Hello, MotoAmerica fans. It's time for another episode of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you may even learn something from this unlikely pair and their special guest. The mic is yours, Paul and Sean.
Hey, MotoAmerica fans, welcome to this latest edition of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. We're going to try something a little bit different. We are going to be talking to one of our riders while he is in a vehicle traveling to Florida from New Hampshire. And if you can't tell by his face and by his location or by the fact that his state, his other friend from the state of New Hampshire, another MotoAmerica rider, Jacob Crossman, is right behind him, then I'm going to tell you this is Mr. Ben Gloddy, who we have on the podcast for this week. And with all due respect to Kyle Wyman, Kyle, we're not going to talk about the weather, but I'm going to bring something up. Here's an experiment. So Ben Gloddy, I think from the looking inside the cab of your vehicle, it's pitch black in New Hampshire, isn't it? Or are you still in New Hampshire?
Yeah, I just got on the road, so it's dark here, and it's been dark for about half an hour now.
Right. So guys, Ben and I are in the same area or same time zone, not area code. It's still light here in Ohio, and that was the one thing I noticed. Ben is on about the furthest east you can go, except for down East Maine, in the Eastern time zone. I'm about as far west as you can go, and there's a difference in the winter of about 45 minutes. And when I moved here, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I remember it gets dark. Gosh, it gets dark around before 4 sometimes, doesn't it, Ben, in New Hampshire?
Yeah, it does. A couple weeks ago, it was getting dark at like 3:45.
Yeah, 3:45. And it's getting dark here, but it's pretty light out if you can see in the background, even though it's blurred. So anyway, I had to get that lesson in geography out of the way to start with. But
thanks
anyway,
for that,
Paul,
Sean.
Yeah, hey, you know.
That's that whole thing with the sun being in the north and the east and the west and all that whole thing, right?
That's right.
All right,
That's
good.
right.
I got it.
Yeah. So Ben, welcome to 2024. Happy New Year to you. I think we can still say that maybe for a few more days until we stop. But
I think today's the cutoff.
Yeah, today's the cutoff. Okay, that's right. But why don't you start by telling us what you're doing in a vehicle? I assume you're on Route 93, or am I wrong?
Right now, we're on 93, headed towards the Tappan Zee Bridge in New York. We're headed down to Florida to get some and then race at the Winter Throwdown.
So you are actually on your way down to go to the Winter Throwdown, which is Corey Texter's event that we are actually promoting, and we are going to have on MotoAmerica Live Plus. So you're going to do a little bit of dirt tracking. Is Jacob doing it as well?
He is not. He's just hanging out watching.
Okay. What are you going to be riding, Ben?
I'm going to be on Sierra 450.
You have it in the back of the truck?
No, right now we're hauling a trailer headed there.
Okay. So it's in the trailer?
Yeah, we got 6 450s in there right now.
6 450s. So you're bringing down some. So who are the other riders that are going to be on these things?
Jacob, and then my buddy Anthony Brock.
Okay. Very awesome. Well, that's more bikes than riders, so you must have a couple of backups.
Yeah, we got 3 Supermoto bikes, 2 Supermoto bikes, 3 motocross bikes, and a flat track bike.
So while you're on, tell us about this Winter Throwdown. Tell Paul and me and the listeners and viewers about this whole thing, because I know Corey's done this in the past couple of years, but you do flat track as well. You've done it. Obviously, you do you are an instructor at Danny Walker's Super Camp, American Super Camp. So you're pretty well versed on the dirt. Have you done the Winter Throwdown before? And also, can you tell us what the structure of it is?
Yeah, I did the Throwdown, not in 2023, but I did it in 2022. And they have a practice day Thursday night, and so I'll be there Thursday night getting some practice in since I haven't ridden in a while. And then Friday and Saturday are the race days. So we'll do practice in the morning, have heat races, and then I think they only pull the top 3 from each heat race to race in the main event. So we'll see if we can make one of the main events.
And Sean, now's a good time to also remind people that race for the first time is going to be on MotoAmerica Live Plus.
That's right.
So people anywhere in the world will be able to tune in and watch that for whatever the small fee is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's added to our programming this year, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Ben, it sounds like it's structured similar to the way AFT is. So you're going to be on, do they call it singles, and do they have like a pro twins or a super twins class?
So they do open expert, and I'm gonna do the 450 expert, and then probably open expert as well.
Okay. Do you know if anybody runs twins down there for that event?
I know Dallas Daniels rode one in 2022 when I was there. I don't remember anyone else that rode one though.
Okay. And how big is the track?
It's a little smaller than a quarter mile. It's a pretty track, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to twin on that.
You'll never turn left. That's right. So dumb question, Ben. You have a steel shoe, I'm sure.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
He's a flat tracker at heart.
Yeah. Have you worn it out yet?
Yeah, there's a big hole in the side of it that I was supposed to get fixed before I came on this trip, but I didn't get around to it.
Yeah, this is something with you guys that you guys do, right? You guys have people weld onto that thing to repair it, right? You don't, when it wears out, you don't get rid of it. You actually just weld material onto the bottom of it. Is that right?
Yeah, Gary Kinsler with Light Shoe, he does a lot of my steel shoe stuff. So I'll send it out to him. He'll resurface the bottom of it and then send it back to me.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul, you know that when they walk, they do that. What do they call it? Clunk, shuffle, clunk, shuffle.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's get into this a little bit, Ben. So we're going to talk to you about last year, which didn't go the way you wanted it to, although you kind of took a try at some civilian life for a while, and I think you liked it okay, but we're kind of glad to hear that you're going to get back into racing. And you did race at the final round in New Jersey and actually did pretty well considering that you hadn't raced since Daytona. So
yeah, he was like fourth and fifth, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
Were you happy with that?
Yeah, I was happy with it. Saturday, I was a little bummed that Gus ended up catching me at the end of the race, but a little bit out of shape because I had moved around here and tired at the end of the race.
Right, exactly. So tell us about, I mean, how you want to describe it. Tell us about Daytona and then what kind of happened after that. As much as you want to talk about, and then your decision to kind of come back. Tell us, kind of go through that for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, Daytona started off pretty good, and race one, we left the line, and I got a couple laps done, and then I was hunting down the leaders again, and unfortunately another rider crashed in front of me, and I got tangled up in that, and that injury put me in the hospital for a night, and then it kind of messed with my head quite a bit. So I decided after I got home from Daytona that I was gonna take some time off and just kind of regroup and see where I was at, when I was ready to come back. And I started working full time, and that took up a lot of my time. So when I was ready to go back racing, I couldn't really just quit my job and go back full time. So I got some time off for Jersey, and I think that was really good for me to be able to come back and kind of be at the front again, like I was when I decided I wasn't going to race a lot this year.
So a lot of that decision after the Daytona incident, it sounds to me that there was obviously a lot of physical damage, but it was a mental thing as well, huh?
Yeah, it took me like a month and a half, 2 months to fully heal up after that. And then just the mental side of it kind of took a toll on me, but got through it and figured out what I really wanted to do.
Yeah, there's nothing like a real job to make you realize that you want to go race motorcycles.
Yeah, definitely.
What's funny though is when I have to get my head on straight, I'll actually go out on a motorcycle or something like that and ride around and kind of clear my head. So what you did is you decided to, I think, jump on a bulldozer. Is that kind of what you ended up doing? Is that what your job is, or a skid steer or something?
I run all of it. So I run an excavator, a bulldozer, skid steer, um, loaders, all that stuff.
Did you have to get any kind of a license to use any of that equipment, or obviously you had to learn?
Yeah, I went to school. It was like a 3-month school, and it got me certified in all different kinds of equipment. And then I was off to work after that.
It's a pretty good skill set to have, because I think they pay pretty well, and it's like a job you could do anywhere.
Yeah, they definitely pay good, and nobody's ever going to stop building stuff, so it's kind of just job security.
Right.
Can you remove the cap from a bottle with your skid steer?
I've never tried.
You ever seen those videos where people do that stuff?
Yeah, I have.
I don't know how they do it. It's a little bit crazy, or they set something right down on something else. It's very delicate. It's kind of tricky. I'd be all uncoordinated, but you guys that do play video games and stuff, I mean, hand-eye coordination is pretty strong. So did you pick it up pretty easily?
Yeah, it didn't take me long to pick it up at all. Yeah, I struggled with the excavator a little bit, but I got that figured out now.
Okay, so tell dumb guy in California what exactly that is.
So an excavator, it's got the tracks on it, and the single person cab, and it's got the bucket with the stick and the boom.
Okay. I was trying to figure out the whole opening a bottle thing with it.
Oh. Yeah, I don't even know if they use one of okay, I don't know this, Paul. I have to ask Ben this. Well, what's the difference between an excavator and a skid steer? Are they the same thing?
A skid steer is basically like a mini loader.
Oh, it's like smaller. So you run that big thing.
Yeah.
Then. Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
He's okay. Manly man.
That's right. So anyway, you came back at New Jersey and you got back in and you raced Twins Cup again, and you were back with Robum. You were back with Robum again, but you're kind of going to try something a little bit different this year. Tell us about what your aims are and what your current situation is, so we kind of know and we can get the word out there.
I mean, right now I'm still looking for a ride, trying to just find something to get back into the paddock. My backup plan for right now, if I don't go road racing, is just do a couple of American flat track rounds and maybe see where that goes.
But for this year, will you do twins again, or would you race in any class, or is there a preference for what class you might want to race in?
I'm open to anything. Okay. Honestly, I'll ride a stock 1000, I'll ride a twin, super sport.
Okay. Yeah, man, everybody and their brother is involved in super sport this year. It's crazy, with now Jake Lewis and obviously the Ray Hall Ducati Moto team, and Corey Alexander joining PJ and Kayla, PJ Jacobson and Kayla Yakov in that. Seems like everybody's involved in that class, which we weren't sure about what super sport was going to become, and now it's everybody wants to do it. You were at Daytona this past year. You've never done the 200.
It's kind of crazy seeing the amount of people that I have not.
Okay.
I'd love to do it this year, or just anytime soon, but I just haven't had anything open up where I'd be able to do
it. And you're of the age now, you can do stock 1000. There's no well, what is that? Is it 16, Paul? I can't remember. Or is it 18? 16, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember. I know we have a cutoff. You would know, but Ben, what is it?
I think it's 18.
Yeah,
18.
I think it's 18.
It's the same as Superbike. Yeah.
That's right. It is the same as Superbike. So, but you're of age that you can race well in either, but stock 1000, plus you've grown quite a bit. So you've been on 1000cc bike before, right? Have you ever raced one?
Yeah, I raced one at Loudon a couple times.
You were in that. You raced in that Loudon Classic. So we know when I interviewed PJ, he was there too. But in the Classic, you didn't race. Did you race the twins in that race?
Yeah, I raced a 660.
Okay.
Okay, I got something for you. So after the Daytona thing, you recuperated physically and sort of mentally. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
you're still having issues now, but what else did you prepare in any way for that New Jersey return, or did you just show up there and that was your first time riding again?
I mean, I rode the Loudon Classic, and then
That's true.
I rode a lot of motocross throughout like the summer. So I had been on a bike, just not a road race bike.
Did it come
And
back? Did it come back pretty quick, or was it hard to wrap your head around again?
no, it came back quick. The first the first practice was a little rough. I was getting ahead of myself, like turning in early and that kind of stuff. But I got it figured out, and yeah.
Have you been doing still doing American Super Camp with Danny Walker?
Yeah, I've been trying to do as many camps as I can, but with working full time, I gotta ask for time off and all
Yeah,
that stuff. So
right. No, I hear you. It's pretty hard to do. When you got your fourth and fifth in twins, did you have a goal? I mean, did you want to be top five, or did you just kind of leave your expectations up to whatever happens happens? How did you enter New Jersey? What was your plan?
no, I mean, I still had high expectations, like I would throughout a whole season racing. I wanted to be one of the top guys, like for the weekend, and I think where I was at Jersey, I was beyond like my honest expectations.
Yeah.
Did the weather
Uh,
help or hurt?
Um, I mean, the last time I rode a road race bike was in the rain at Loudon, so I guess
That's
it kind of
right.
helped.
Right.
That's right. I forgot about the rain. Well, not only at Loudon, but the rain in New Jersey. And we talked to you a little bit earlier in the weekend, but once it started coming down, I didn't really get out around. We once the racing started, so we really didn't get to check in and see how it was. But with that track, I mean, obviously it hadn't been repaved yet. So, how are you about New Jersey, and are you looking forward to this year, hopefully getting back into it and being able to race on a repaved New Jersey as well as a couple other repaved tracks?
Yeah, I am. I don't think Jersey's on the schedule for the Twins, so I'll probably have to find something else to ride there. 'Cause I like Jersey as a track, and it's the closest one to home for me, so a lot of people can come out and support and watch.
One of the things I wondered about, Ben, you were the youngest rider to be accepted into the Penguin Road Racing School, and I think there's been some young riders since then. You kind of paved the way. That school has been around forever and is renowned in the Northeast for sure. And it's obviously Jerry Wood and Eric is involved. Now, Eric, I'm not saying Eric is an old man by any stretch, but do you foresee that Penguin School continuing for, I don't know, a long time? I mean, do you think there's any end in sight for that school, even as the owners of the school kind of get older?
No, I don't think so. I think that school is going to be around for quite a bit longer.
Is it based on the fact that it's got a good support system, like riders like you that instruct there and everything?
Yeah, definitely. There's all kinds of guys that go and support and help coach and just volunteer. And I think when Eric decides it's time for him to, maybe step back a little bit, which I mean, I don't see happening for probably at least the next 20 years. Somebody else will come along and step into his shoes.
Okay. I don't necessarily do this when I need to get my head on straight, but I know a few other riders have. Between Daytona and New Jersey, or let's say since last Daytona, have you had any conversations with a guy that'll definitely put your head on straight in Dale Quarterly?
I've talked to Dale a little bit. Nothing about like anything racing. Just kind of talking to him, seeing how he's doing, and that kind of stuff. Because I rode for him when I was racing Junior Cup.
Yeah, I mean, once you're part of Dale's group, you're kind of always part of it. He's done quite a bit of car racing still making that happen. But do you know, is he working with any particular riders right now?
I believe last year he was working with Avery Dreyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's doing anything this coming year or this year now.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question for you. Would you consider racing a bagger if the opportunity presented itself?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think that tall, lanky type of body works well for those. I could kind of picture you on one.
Yeah, no, I mean, if someone wants me to ride a bagger, I'll definitely ride one.
So basically anything that's got a motor, well, you even said AFT, but for road racing, literally any of our classes, maybe even hooligan, right?
I'm open to anything.
I'm going to have you try to explain something to our listeners and viewers. You're a young guy. You had that accident. You came back. Luckily, you came back to that race, because I think otherwise it's so easy to get forgotten, right? So even now you're like semi forgotten, and hopefully being on this podcast will help people remember, who Ben Gloddy is. So you have all that going on. How difficult, how do you approach trying to get a ride? Are you calling people? Are they calling you? Are you texting? Or are you just hoping something falls in your lap? But explain that process a little bit, because it's got to be difficult.
Yeah, at New Jersey, I went around the paddock talking to different people and just kind of, put my name out there. And then this off season, it's been a lot of phone calls and emails and all that kind of stuff, trying to find something.
Without giving anything away yet, how have the prospects been? Have you gotten some maybes, some any semi sort of commitments at this point?
No commitments yet. Just still talk, but yeah, there's a couple good opportunities for me out there right now.
That's good. Yeah, it's not easy. You're a great example, Ben, of somebody that, restarting their career. I interviewed Corey Alexander recently, and he was out of racing completely for a while, and he did a little bit of AFT as well. And now he's back in. He was a Stock 1000 champion. He podiumed in Superbike last year. He's going to be on, obviously, Rahal Ducati Moto. So it can be done. You just have to be marketable, make yourself marketable out there. Do you put together any kind of a presentation of your results, or do you do anything using any of our analytics with MotoAmerica to show what we're all about?
Yeah, I have a whole resume that shows everything from the past 4 seasons that I've been racing MotoAmerica and all that stuff when I was younger, racing flat track.
But you said you'd race flat track probably on a single if you had the opportunity. Has there been any prospects with that?
Not really. The flat track side of it, I could go on my own with a couple of buddies that can change wheels and stuff for me, and I think I could do all right. Just have some fun with it.
Do you still have any affiliation with what was it, Freedom Cycle in Concord, I think? Do you still have any affiliation with those dealerships in New Hampshire?
Yeah, I still do a lot of work with Freedom Cycle, and they've been a really huge support, and they backed me through the injury and everything else. So
that's
they've
good. That's really good. It's funny about New England. There's Loudon clearly helps. There's also that other track in northern New Hampshire. I don't know if that's ever going to get, well, it's a club track, right? I don't really remember the name of it, but I think you've been on it. I don't know if it's ever going to get involved in MotoAmerica in any way. It may not have the runoff room, but can you tell us a little about that track? That's one that's sort of up there that people use for cars and bikes a little bit, right?
Yeah, that track is awesome, actually. I wish MotoAmerica would go there, but I've done a lot of testing there in the past, and it's really sweet. It's called Club Motorsports. It's a private track right now, so you have memberships, whatever else, and you can bring people up on certain weekends and stuff so they can try it out, see what it's all about. But they do a lot of car stuff there with the high end cars, and then they have the bikes as well.
So if you're going down to Florida, are you going to go to Bushnell and go to that track and do a little supermoto as well?
Yeah, yep. We'll be at Bushnell for a couple days, and then we'll ride moto for a couple days, and then I'll have to throw down.
Who do you expect to see at Bushnell?
We'll probably see Brandon there, and I think Eli Block will be there with us. And I don't really know who else is going to be there.
Yeah, we were glad to see Eli back for New Jersey, and he did pretty well. I don't know where his situation is, but that was good to see him, involved. And I know he did some stuff through Colin at BartCon, Colin Barton. So I don't know if he's still going to be hooked up with him next year or what the plan is going to be, but he's another rider from your area. And the guy sitting behind you too, Jacob. Jacob, are you going to be, I don't know if you can hear me or whatever. Jacob, are you going to be back in our series this next year?
We're looking like we are. We have a few options right now. We're trying to figure out which one to really want to go with.
Would it be Junior Cup for you?
What's that?
Would it be Junior Cup for you if you come back?
It would either be Twins or Super Sport.
Oh, really? Okay. You kids grow up so quick. I mean, it's unbelievable. Well, hey, this experiment went pretty well. Jacob, we can't really see all of your face because, it's dark now. Where are you on 93? You must be in Massachusetts by now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, we're on 495 in Massachusetts now.
Oh, you're in Fort. Okay. Well, you're making your way there. So good luck getting through New York City and the rest of the way. But, you guys be good. And thanks for joining us on here, Ben. We'll get the word out about you and about Jacob for this year, and some New Hampshire riders who are fast and looking for some opportunities. So thanks for joining us.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, good luck this weekend, and be safe.
Yeah, good luck at the throwdown. Any shout outs you want to make?
Just my mom, dad, like my whole family, they've been a huge help. And Freedom Cycle, Arai Helmets, Moto Liberty, just everyone that supports me. I can't thank all you guys enough.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks,
Jacob. See ya.